You're a robot. We're all robots. We've been programmed since birth as to how to think, how to act, how to feel. We're all robots. Now, there might be a part of you thinking, no, I'm not a robot. I make my own free choices every single day. I make choices about who I want to be, what I want to do, what I want to eat. Really, if you think about it, deep down, you are programmed like a robot. Ever since birth, you've been programmed by your parents. You've been programmed by your national identity as to what to value. You've been programmed by the culture that you grew up in. You've been programmed. Your unconscious mind holds the limits in terms of beliefs, in terms of how much money you earn, how happy you're going to be in your relationships, your level of health, and so on, and much, much more. Your level of achievement in your life, everything is determined by your beliefs in your unconscious mind. Now, okay, all fair and good. Is that true? You might be thinking, how can that be true? But look at your life like right now. It's possible to actually measure using a form of testing that I've learned, that I can measure your beliefs about your wealth, your intelligence, your level of self-love, your level of happiness in your relationships, your level of health. It's possible to test that and to discern what you actually believe. It's really interesting. Once you learn this tool, it's like nothing can be hidden from you because you know the truth about everything and everyone. Most importantly, you know the truth about your unconscious mind, because your unconscious mind is really governing the show. It's telling you who to be, how to be, what to do, how to act. Everything in your unconscious mind is how you are. But people really cannot be anything different than they are unless they want to change. So if a person is what we would say labeled as a criminal, sometimes they cannot be anything other than what they are, because that's just what they believe they deserve. That's how they believe they should be and act and behave in the world. Everyone behaves how they're programmed. We're all robots. You're a robot. Now, the interesting thing starts to happen is when you discover this tool. It's like discovering when mankind discovered fire. He was no longer afraid of the dark. There were centuries, that possibly thousands of years, where mankind was afraid of the dark. And then when someone discovered fire, lightning hit a branch of a tree, they thought, hey, we can make that. They experimented, they discovered friction, they rubbed two sticks together, they made fire. All of a sudden, the darkness, which had previously been a source of fear and danger, now became tameable. It became something that they could control, something that they could go out and venture into the darkness with a fire, with a torch. It was no longer scary. It was no longer so dangerous for them. So the more they started to light up like with cities, we light up the city, we light up the town that we're a part of, and it becomes less scary to walk around in the dark. Of course, if the darkness was completely illuminated, say for example we had no nighttime, if we had daylight all the time, 24 hours a day, then you wouldn't really be afraid to venture out into the outside world, or there'd be a lot less fear, because you could see from a long distance what's coming, what's in front of you, what's around you. You'd be able to discern reality a lot better. The same thing with your unconscious mind. People are afraid of it because it's scary. You don't know what's down there. You don't know what's deep down in the abyss, in the deep, under the water in your unconscious mind. You don't know. And because we don't know, we're a bit afraid. We're a bit confused. And for most people, it's like we just don't go there. But that's governing your life. That's telling you everything about you. It's governing your success in your spiritual life, your health, your relationships, in your wealth. It's in your peace of mind, in your self-esteem. It's governing, it's set ceilings, and it's like a program in a computer that you're just waking up every morning and following the programming in a computer. And if you get enough people together, you form a big tribe, and maybe that tribe is a nation. You're following the destiny of a whole bunch of unconscious minds, all working together, going to what they perceive. We're all following their collective fears and neuroses and collective desires. I can go into this a lot more, and I may in future videos, but for now I just want to keep it short. The good thing is, just as mankind discovered fire, it's also possible to see through your unconscious mind, to calibrate and discern what you do believe about your health, your wealth, your success, your relationships. There's an area of your life where you're stuck, where you're struggling, where you're miserable, it's likely that all that is, it's just you're following on an unconscious level. You're following a faulty program, a program that no longer serves you well. It's a program that's been passed down to you, perhaps through your DNA, through your parents, through your culture, through your national identity, and it doesn't serve you anymore. And because it doesn't serve you anymore, you perceive it doesn't serve you anymore. It makes you unhappy because you can't get what you want. You perceive you can't get what you want because of that limiting belief. And you can try affirmations. You can consciously try affirmations. You can try lots of healing techniques out there. There are some, they work to varying degrees. But unless you can really get into the unconscious mind and change those programs, you're just a robot. And you're just really... And once you understand this, you're able to give people a wide berth. You're able to give people the benefit of a doubt and just go, you know what, hey, they're just functioning on their programming. They're just operating on their programming. If they knew how to operate in a better way, they would try, but they probably couldn't because they're limited to the programming. You never look at a tractor and say, why isn't that tractor a Ferrari? Or you never look at that Ferrari and say, why isn't that Ferrari a fruit picker? I need a fruit picker to pick trees. Okay, that's an interesting analogy. Everyone is as how they are, and no one can be any different. We can try and scream and rant about how the world should be different, but really the world is just a function of us and our programming. And until we understand the keys to changing the beliefs in our unconscious mind, we will be helpless to that programming. Now, the great thing about positive emotional healing is I've learned a way to discern what is in your unconscious mind. I can calibrate and test everything that you believe about everything. You tell me, hey, Roger, this is something I want. I can calibrate your beliefs around that and whether you want it and whether you really believe you deserve it and whether you may not believe you want the things that you want. It's so interesting. It's so powerful. And then from there, I can actually help you change everything permanently so that you can have what you want. If you want something, you can actually go for it full steam ahead. And the reality is sometimes the things that we think we want are not what we really do want. This is such a fascinating topic, and I can talk for days on this, but for now, just for the limitations of this video, it's important that you understand. 1, you're a robot, I'm a robot. 2, the only way to change our programming is through our unconscious mind. 3, it's very unlikely that you as a human being will have the ability to change your unconscious mind unless you go for some external source, someone who knows the unconscious mind, someone who can help you with it, or whether you have a miraculous experience from God where your unconscious mind is changed by a divine power. And that does happen. This is Roger McDonald from Positive Emotional Healing. Have a fantastic day.